Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. Today we're going to talk about how the market is pulling back after the recent run-up. We saw cryptocurrencies finally put in a bit of a point of reversal. They started to move higher from there, which is great, but logically we're going to come up on some resistance sooner or later, and that's what happened here. So we are moving a little bit lower, but we are still above some key support levels, and I'm going to go over that in more detail during the technical analysis. What we want to make sure we remain above to avoid dropping lower or entering a bit of a shaky phase. Now, over the past 24 hours, as you can see, slight pullback, crypto markets becoming a little bit more mixed. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency market updates. Make sure to check out my premium content for monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities, as well as 5 high return cryptocurrencies for your 2018 portfolio. I'll have a link to both those things in the description of this video. And let's get started with the Bitcoin technical analysis. So Bitcoin is actually one of the cryptocurrencies here, especially one of the bigger ones, that's looking a little bit on the weaker side. And it isn't at the end of the world, but what's happening here is we just dropped below our long-term uptrend line. Now, we only really sustained above that for around 2 days here. So we were in the progress of recovering above that, and we were coming up on this upper Bollinger Band, which, as you can see, weren't able to break higher than that. So that's what caused us to move lower, and that's actually the case with a lot of cryptocurrencies, is that they ran up into that upper Bollinger Band and weren't able to move higher from there, so they pulled back towards their short-term uptrend lines. Now, on the plus side, we are still above this green uptrend line, which is our short-term uptrend line, and if we're able to get a bounce here over the next day or two, then we'll have pretty much avoided a drop lower for now, and we should be able to slowly but surely climb higher, closer to $9,000, maybe even $10,000. But if we drop below this short-term uptrend line over the next day or so, we're probably going to enter a bit of consolidation in between $6,500 and $8,000. And we could also, at the worst case scenario, would be re-entering maybe some downside or some shakiness, right? But hopefully we would just see some consolidation if we break below the uptrend line for now, because crypto markets are definitely stronger than just a few weeks ago. And we really have put in a reversal, right? We are out of our downtrend line, which is really what matters here. So even if we did drop, that's probably where we would find support. We would probably bounce off this downtrend line right here. And as for the indicators, definitely took a little bit of a flip towards the downside. So we are, let's see, if I go ahead and draw our uptrend line here on the RSI, we'll see if we actually ended up breaking below our uptrend line. And it looks like, for the most part here, we are actually still above our uptrend line on the RSI, so there's still a bounce opportunity there. Nothing really to worry about. And like I said, really over the next day or two, we're going to see if we're going to get a bounce off these uptrend lines or not. Let's take a look at Ethereum next. Now, Ethereum is in a little bit of a different situation than Bitcoin. It has a much clearer resistance level, support level. Now, its support is at $500 here. And like I said, for Bitcoin, over the next day or two, we'll see if we're able to get a bounce off this. Either way, Ethereum is a little bit of a better position because it could pull down even further down to its uptrend line over here and get a bounce off that, and it would be pretty much unscathed. As for the indicators, we're still okay. Took a little bit of a hit, nothing really to worry about for the time being. We also came up on resistance due to the upper Bollinger Band. The thing that's different here is that our Bollinger Bands are actually expanding on the Ethereum chart, and our middle band is actually coming towards the upside, so it is a little bit stronger than the Bitcoin chart. So for Ethereum here, I think we're going to see either one of two things, a bounce off this $500 mark, or maybe move a little bit lower to our uptrend line and get a bounce off that. I don't really see Ethereum going any lower, however. Let's take a look at Coinbase now. So Coinbase is showing this longer upper wick, which means that once we came up on this upper Bollinger Band, we weren't able to really sustain those prices, and we came back lower. So I think that due to the fact that these Bollinger Bands are very tight right now on the Litecoin chart, we're probably going to need to put in a little bit more consolidation around this area here, around $125. And then hopefully we'll start getting a bit of a breakout that will allow us to kind of break out of this range and start going closer to $150 and above. As for the indicators, we're still looking pretty strong here, still continuing our uptrends, so nothing to worry about there. Nano is actually doing pretty good today, and like I've been saying, Nano is actually in an interesting position because it tends to do good when the rest of the market is pulling back, and it tends to be weaker when the rest of the market is strong. So as you can see here, as the rest of the cryptos pull back a bit, Nano is currently actually starting to bounce significantly off that 70,000 support level, and we could see it come back towards 80,000 Satoshis, maybe even break above that, which is what we want to see to try to get back towards 100K Satoshis. Now, let's take a look at Ripple next, see what's happening. So we're going to go over to the Bittrex chart here, and Ripple is currently coming back towards its 65-cent support level. Indicators still looking okay here. We're definitely still uptrending. At best, we're going to manage to sustain right on top of the 65-cent level and put in a couple days of consolidation, get closer to that uptrend line, get a bounce there, or we're going to get a little bit more of a sharp drop towards the towards the uptrend line, get a bounce there a bit earlier than expected, then just continue along this uptrend line. It's not the steepest uptrend line, which is good. It makes it much more likely that we'll be able to trend higher along this level. And really, I think that at this point, we are going to see this drop towards the uptrend line over the next day or two, and then come higher. Our Bollinger Bands are already expanding, which should leave some space to move higher after that. So NEO's chart patterns are pretty clear here. We have this very nice short-term uptrend line, which has been successfully carrying the prices higher, and our indicators are still looking pretty strong. Right now, we are coming back towards this uptrend line after hitting that upper Bollinger Band, and it looks like we definitely have a good chance of getting a bounce here, but to confirm that, we'll have to wait, another day or so and really make sure that we're moving back towards $75. We have our Bollinger Bands that are expanding higher and our middle band that's starting to come back up, so we're definitely looking quite strong here. And if we did end up dropping below our uptrend line, I think we'd probably just see some consolidation around the $60 level, not really a drop lower. But to be honest, I feel like we have more upside potential than downside potential on the NEO chart right now, since it's in such a clear and just steady pattern with this uptrend line in the short term. Let's take a look next at Stellar and see what's going on. So Stellar actually had a pretty significant breakout, and it's looking like that's continuing today, which is not like most cryptocurrencies. So we have great buying volume to support the couple days that we saw this breakout, and it's been very steady and consistent. Indicators continuing as well higher. We just broke above that 79 on the RSI, which is always a good sign. And to be honest, we're coming up on that 4,000 Satoshi level. I think we're going to start to slow down the increase at this point. At best, we're going to be able to get back above that and just consolidate between 4,000 and 4,500. But I'd say it's a little bit more likely that at this point, with the rest of the market slowing down a bit, we're going to consolidate between 3,500 and 4,000. Really, if we come back a little bit towards the uptrend line, we'll probably get a bounce off this one, the red one, and just move higher from there. So either way, it's still strong. Let's take a look at Vertcoin next, see what's going on. And Vertcoin is currently a little bit on the weaker side. It's not really doing much, to be honest. It's pretty flat. So we're just trading around $2.20. That's where we're finding support. As for the indicators, slowly continuing higher. I think that it's just waiting on the rest of the market to hopefully get a kick higher and just follow that lead, basically. Let's take a look next at Lisk and see what's going on. So Lisk is right now experiencing a red candlestick. It's not really able to break above its upper Bollinger Band. Basically, I think that we're going to see some consolidation here for a few days in between $10 and $12.15. And then as we approach this upper Bollinger Band, we should be able to bounce off that and come towards the end of our symmetrical triangle formation, because I do think that's where we're gonna be. And then we're going to get our breakout either towards the upside or downside, hopefully towards the upside, since the market is acting stronger again now and has finally put in what seems to be a pretty clear reversal. Let's take a look at Cardano next and see what's happening. So Cardano is actually above its upper Bollinger Band, and we're pulling back pretty severely. Need to go over to the Bittrex chart, however. But we are pulling back from that upper Bollinger Band breakout, and that is normal, right? It is pretty hard to sustain those breakouts above the upper Bollinger Band. If we take a look at what happened right back here, we had our breakout above the upper Bollinger Band, we pulled back, we had one consolidation day, basically a doji candlestick, and then we moved higher. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this pattern happen again, basically some kind of bounce off that 3,000 Satoshi level and then even move higher from there, maybe go and test 4,000 Satoshis, pull back, put in some consolidation. If we see that we're not able to sustain above 3,000 in the short term, we're probably just going to get a little bit of a pullback towards our uptrend line and move higher from there. Indicators very strong, but we have gotten a pretty significant move higher compared to a lot of other cryptocurrencies. We're already trading above that 70 line and are coming back towards that. So it definitely got a pretty significant breakout, which means that it might slow down a little bit. Let's take a look at our last cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update, which is going to be IOTA, and see what's happening. So IOTA is currently pulling back towards this $1.47 support level. We rejected the 70 mark on the RSI, which isn't the best sign, but with that being said, if we're able to get a nice bounce off this $1.47 level, we'll probably be able to get a bounce back above the 70 line on the RSI, which is going to be bullish. So I'm not too worried about it either way. And if I go ahead and put in our uptrend line here on the price side of things, that's where we can expect some kind of bounce. So it's more or less in line with that $1.47 support level, which tells me that we're probably going to get a bounce right there, right, and then really move higher. Next stop is $2 after that, basically. With that being said, this is the end of the daily crypto update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.